Welcome to Bamfordrose and this episode of Classified Chat, which is the V12 Vantage. You may remember in a previous video we did that we featured the original V12 Vantage concept car for sale. So V12 Vantage production cars came out in 2009 with a 6-speed manual gearbox, 510 bhp, a 0 to 60 time of 4.2 seconds and a top speed of 190 miles an hour. That car was sold in limited numbers to 2013 when Vantage S superseded the original 6-speed manual. Vantage S was 7-speed paddle shift, 565 bhp, a reduction to 3.9 seconds 0 to 60 and a top speed topping 200 miles an hour. That model had adaptive damping, and although the original 6-speed manual V12 Vantage is an awesome car, V12 Vantage S is another step on. It's a really good evolution. However, whilst I rave all day long about the 7-speed V12 Vantage S paddle shift gearbox, the 7-speed manual does take a little bit of getting used to. Generally, the market is down at the moment, not just for Aston, but for most cars. It has to be said, the prices that V12 Vantage now start at is absolutely unbelievable. We start our search today with a 2010 V12 Vantage up at just short of £54,000, which for the car that you're buying is an unreal amount of car for the money. It's often to find that V12 Vantage are cherished cars. We often see them at lower mileage than the same year V8, DB9, DBS. That's probably because the V12 Vantage is going to be something like a third car, and it's going to be for, you know, a spirited Sunday drive. There are a few people that will use it for grand touring, and they can be used for grand touring, but you often find that the V12 Vantage is for high days and holidays and hardly used compared to other cars. That means that you generally find V12 Vantage in cracking condition, good paint, good interior, and whilst you have to check for electronic functionality at point of purchase, really only a V12V needs checking for its carbon ceramic brakes and any signs of misfire or catalyst ingestion. Apart from that, there's not really a lot that goes wrong with a V12 Vantage. The Alcantara steering wheels can wear a little bit, but it's very easy to refurbish those. But that picture there is what it's all about. 510 horsepower, 570 Newton meters in a Vantage chassis. Now, of course, it's a few years younger and the mileage is a little bit lower, but here's an interesting comparison. You've got your 2015 4.7 V8 Vantage. You know, it's not an M430, it's not a Vantage S. This is a very good but just standard 4.7 V8 Vantage trading at £53,000, or this awesome V12 Vantage at £54,000. And for me, the choice is obvious. I think previously V12 Vantage would have been trading for probably £20,000 more than this current start price. And the low figure that V12 Vantage has dropped to, as I've said before, is quite unbelievable. At £65,000, average miles on this car, but there are a number of the 6-speed V12 Vantage available until you get to the 2013 Evolution model. Here is an Evolution model from 2015 at £78,000. So the 6-speed manual is going to start from that entry-level price, and depending on age and mileage, the cut-off to an S is going to be around about the £80,000 mark. I think the V12 Vantage S Roadster is absolutely fabulous. They did come out with the Roadster on the 6-speed manual version. There were 101 units made. I think something like 30 of them are in the UK. At the time, it was supposed to be a one-off special, and they were never going to make a Roadster version of the Vantage chassis with a manual available on the V12. But after making that special run of 101 cars, a couple of years later they've come out with the Roadster in a production version. That original 6-speed Roadster still holds its own because you can get that in a manual 6-speed and that manual 6-speed box is much better than the manual 7-speed box. The new 2013 V12S has got the new shaped grille. Now we do a lot of retrofitting of that grille to V8s, and I think that grille does look or suit the V12 Vantage better than the original classic grille. This is a cracking example here, really low mileage, up at work service, so you've got all the trimmings of a purchase at franchise dealer for 87k. That's an amazing amount of car for the money. Now we go towards the upper end of the V12 VS market, and this example has only got 1200 mile on. It's in China grey with yellow accents, and that looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, it's pretty pricey at 124k, but you're buying a practically new car. And this is more or less the last of the 6-litre naturally aspirated engines before downsizing and pressure charging, and it's got the AMR performance and aero packs on. I'm sure you'll agree that's an absolutely gorgeous car. Those regulars of Bamfordrose will recognise this car. We put a switch on this car so it could go on track days because it was too loud when the exhaust valves were in their switching modes. This is about as highly spec'd Q car as you can get, and this car is super special. Paintwork on a sunny day looks absolutely amazing. Interior is really nice. It's a special car to be in. Only 2,300 miles, it's practically new, and 160k is obviously a lot of money, but it's a very special car. So it's in the AMR car and the Q car at the upper end of V12 Vantage S market. And now we've just got a couple of specials. One here is an AMR car, again, practically brand new, 600 mile on the clock. But 165k, that's going to suffer for quite some depreciation. And with a few other specials across other models, starts to get a bit too many. You know, there's only so much paint colour and stitching colour that you can throw at a car and call it a special, and it has relevance. 175k for the Spitfire special. You know, in 10 years time, pretty much like an M400 is now, that it's sort of just blending in with a normal 4.3. How much is this car really going to be worth? Same to be said for the Red Bull. At 210k, I just don't get that. As a special that will hold its value or increase in value in years to come, especially as Aston's sponsorship of F1 was just in name only, and perhaps in the future they're going to do something special with Stroll in his F1 team, what this Red Bull edition is actually celebrating. But if you want a nearly new V12 Vantage and you like the special editions, then that's absolutely fine. I think in a few years' time, V12 Vantage will be trading for a lot more than what they're currently trading for now. So it's an ideal car to buy as an investment, but not something that you tuck away and never use. You know, bring it out on a few Sundays, go on holiday with it, and who knows, in 5 to 10 years' time, you could be sat on a big profit. We'll probably be doing a repeat of V12 Vantage classified chat in about 3 or 4 months' time. So let's see if the market changes in that time, and now is just a low because of the current economic climate. Hope you like that review of Vantage S on the classified market, and we'll see you in the next classified chat.